I'm going to be tying some of my favorite knots today. The first one I'm going to show you is the classic clinch knot. This is the knot you should know for any basic fishing. You just slide one end of your line through the eye of the hook, wrap your tag end around your main line anywhere from 3 to 7 times. The more wraps, for the smaller the line. You just thread the tag end through the little loop near the eye of the hook, pull your line taut, and then wet your knot with either spit or water. Pull your working line tight until it cinches all the way down. And there you have it, a simple clinch knot. Always make sure to cut your tag end. The next knot that I'll show you is the improved clinch knot. I think this helps to hold braid if you decide to use a clinch knot with braided line a little bit better than a simple clinch knot. You're going to do the exact same thing, except after putting the tag end through the loop near the eye of the hook, you want to pass the tag end back through the new loop that you just created. Again, wet your knot. And pull tight. Again, making sure to cut your tag end. I won't harp on that too much moving forward. The next knot I like to use is called the palomar knot. This is really good for a slick line like braid, and it's widely considered to be one of the strongest knots you can use for fishing. You just want to loop over your line and pass it through the eye of the hook. Do 2 simple overhand knots. You just put that little loop over your line 2 times. And then you just want to pass your hook or your bait through that loop. Once you do that, you can cinch down your line, wetting it or adjusting that little loop so it doesn't get caught on the eye of your hook. This is a little bit trickier to tie, especially with this 40-pound monofilament that I'm using, but you get the picture. This knot is also great for making drop shot rigs because you can use the tag end to tie on a simple weight. The next knot that I love to use is the surgeon's knot. I use this to tie fly tippet onto my leader. I just put the tippet, which is the clear line in this case, parallel to my leader, which is the neon yellow. Make a loop with both, and I reach through this loop and grab both lines. I pull the clear line through, twice, remembering to grab both lines and pulling them all the way through. And then I simply pull tight. You can wet your line and pull it until the knot seats correctly. This is the double uni knot. You make both of your lines parallel, loop your leader over to create this B shape, and then pass the leader through 3 to 7 times depending on the size of your line. You can just pull that tight. And you want to do the reverse with your main line. This will create 2 uni knots in opposite directions. You can then pull both sides of your working ends and they'll come together and fully cinch down. This is a really easy and simple surgeon's loop, which can be used in a wide variety of applications. You just bend your line over itself, make 2 overhand knots, pull it tight, and now you have a really simple loop that won't collapse on itself. Okay, these next knots I'm going to show you are more all-purpose knots. For the bowline knot, you want to make sure that when you create your first loop, the rope that is on top is coming from whatever you're tying onto. It should be on top. You also don't want to put your working end down through the hole. You want to come up through the hole. Then you go under your working line and through this hole. You can pull tight, and now you have an extremely secure loop that won't collapse on itself and it won't cinch up. The constrictor knot is really useful if you want to tie something down and make sure it gets really tight. You just loop your rope around on one side of itself and then the other. Then you want to feed your rope through these 2 holes right here. This knot will be pretty hard to come undone once you load it down. The cow hitch knot is another really simple, really useful knot. Loop it around, over itself, back around your pole, and under the loop you created. This knot is only useful if it is under constant strain. And I thought I'd show you how I tie my shoes because this is a little bit of a different technique than what I think most people use. I just use a simple overhand knot and then I do whatever this is. I have no idea where I learned this. This is just how I started tying my shoes a few years ago. And I thought it was pretty funny. Thanks for watching.